All right, sixth grade, more algebra today. Today we are actually writing equations, okay? We are writing equations. So let's define equation first. Let me change my color. Okay, an equation is a mathematical sentence stating that two expressions are equal. Equal. Okay, example number one. Write an equation for each sentence. 9 less than y is 5. 9 less than y is 5. Okay, what I want you to key in on today is that when we're writing equations from word phrases, when we're translating word phrases into equations, is just like when we were working on percents, okay, is means equal. Okay, is means equal. All right. So 9 less than y, remember subtraction again, order matters. 9 less than y means we are taking 9 away from y. So y minus 9 is, that's our key. There's where I put my equal sign. Y minus 9 equals, and what does it equal? It equals 5. Okay, you are not asked to solve this. Leave it there. Just write an equation. Y minus 9 equals 5. B, a number divided by -4 equals 9. Whenever we see that a number, we just get to choose a variable. I'm going to go ahead with n, okay? A number divided by -4. N over -4 equals 9. Okay? You will key in really quickly on the fact that anytime I see the word divided by, I write it as a fraction. Okay, that just moving forward in your math, that's how you're going to see division more and more frequently rather than this. So start getting used to that. I would say get into the habit of thinking about fractions as division, thinking about division as fractions, and just getting used to writing your division like this. Am I going to say that this is wrong? Absolutely not. That is completely correct. And if you write it like that, that's fine. But I would encourage you to start doing it this way because that's how you're just going to see it more and more and more frequently as you keep going on in math. Okay. All right, moving on. Skill check number 1 says, I don't know what it says. Let me look. Write an equation for each sentence. So the difference of 3 and a equals 9. The difference of 3 and a equals 9. Order matters in subtraction. The difference of 3 and a means 3 minus a. So 3 minus a equals 9. Why does everything equal 9 so far? Okay. 2, the product of -7 and b is 63. Product tells me multiplication, so I am multiplying -7 and b. -7b is, there's my keyword for equals, -7b is 63. And done. Okay. Sometimes we are going to have a variable on both sides of the equal sign. Okay, these get a little bit more confusing. Take a deep breath, take your time, read carefully. All right. A says 10 more than P equals 28 more than 3 times P. There's a lot happening here. But just like when we're working through solving things that have multiple operations, okay, like we did quite a bit towards the end of chapter 12, just take your time, work carefully and methodically, don't lose track of things, and you will be fine, I promise, okay? So 10 more than P equals. So we know 10 more than P is on one side of the equal sign. So let's start there. 10 more than P, more than tells me addition. 10 plus P equals, then I have 28 more than 3 times P. So 28 more than tells me addition, and then 3 times P tells me multiplication. So what am I adding? I'm adding 28 to the product of 3 times P. So 28 plus 3 times P, 3 P. And there we go. Okay, not so bad. B, 6 less than, so that tells me I'm going to have some subtraction happening somewhere. 6 less than the quotient of a number and 9 is. Okay, so that is tells me that's where my break is happening. That's where my equal sign is happening. So I've got two different sides happening here. Here's my equal sign. So on one side of my equal sign, I have 6 less than the quotient of a number and 9. So what am I subtracting here? I'm subtracting the quotient of a number of and 9 and 6. Okay, so 6 less than means I'm taking 6 away from the quotient of a number and 9. So n over 9 is the quotient of a number and 9 minus 6. There's my 6 less than the quotient of a number and 9 is equal sign. 8 more than, so there's addition. 8 more than, so I'm adding 8 to something. What am I adding 8 to? The number squared. Key, guys, key here is that I have a number, the number, it's the same number. Do not use a different variable. Okay, you have to use the same variable. It's the same number on both sides of the equation, all right? So don't all of a sudden give me an x when I have an n on the left-hand side of the equation, okay? So 8 more than, so 8 plus the number squared, n squared. Okay, that's how I write that one out. Skill check number 2. 2 increased by p is 5 less than 3 times p. So 2 increased by p is, there's my equal, so let's work on the left-hand side. 2 increased by p, 2 plus p is 5 less than, so I've got some subtraction happening here, and here we have this 3 times p again, okay? 5 less than, so I am taking 5 away from, and what am I taking it away from? I'm taking it away from the product of 3 and p, okay? So that is going to be 3p minus 5, okay? Number 2, 2 increased by the quotient of a number and negative 3 is. So here's my left-hand side of the equation. 2 increased by, I know I'm going to have some addition. What am I adding to 2? I'm adding the quotient of a number and negative 3. So I get to choose my variable. Quotient tells me division. So let's go with x. X divided by negative 3, okay, plus 2. And you could do plus 2 here. You could do plus 2 on this side. It doesn't matter. Don't do it both places. Okay. So 2 increased by 2 plus the quotient of a number and negative 3. So x divided by negative 3 is, here's my equal sign, twice the number. I have to have the same number again. Twice, remember, that means I'm multiplying something by 2. So I am multiplying this number, my x, by 2. 2x. Okay, last one, the difference of, got some subtraction happening here, the difference of 3 times y and 2 equals, so what am I subtracting here? 3 times y and 2, all right, 3 times y and 2, and then that equals, so that's my left-hand side of the equation. 3y, that's how I write 3 times y, minus 2 equals 19 more than, that tells me addition, y. 19 plus y, and you're done, okay? This is what you're working through in your homework again today. Again, you are not, let me just double check before I tell you something wrong. Okay, you are not actually solving anything. You are just writing algebraic expressions, okay? You're just writing equations, okay? Algebraic equations. When you get to the C exercises, I want to read the instruction to you. It says, assign a variable to the unknown and write an equation for each sentence, okay? You need to tell me what your variable means. So if you turn your page to page 532, number 33, I'm going to read it to you. It says, the Crusaders won 12 of their 18 basketball games this season. Okay, so if they won 12, what we don't know is how many they lost. Okay, how many they lost. So this is how I would tackle this problem. I would say L is equal to games lost. And how can I write an expression that will help me know how many games they lost? Well, they played 18 altogether, right? And they won 12. So 12 plus the number of games they lost must equal 18. This is a complete answer for number 33. This is how your answers in Part C need to look. Okay? Let me know if you have questions.